Hello and welcome to International Symposium on Innovation in Education. And I would like to thank Johanna for joining us. Johanna Järvinen-Taubert is joining us from Finland, so it's a little bit later there on Saturday. So we are so grateful for this, for your participation, really. And the title of your talk is Innovating Education the Finnish way, stress-free learning, strong outcomes. Who wouldn't like to see that? And I just would like to tell our wonderful audience that you have worked as a teacher and teacher trainer in Finland, and the focus was and is on professional development programs. But for the last 11 years, you are working as a pedagogical director of Learning Scoop, and that's with the focus on training teachers and education experts from all over the world. I was lucky to travel to Finland last year, and I've seen what you do, how you invite teams of teachers from all over the world and tell them about the Finnish phenomenon. And it was interesting. I think when I was there was a group from maybe Nigeria or a different African country. It was very interesting. They had different outfits. We were all just kind of like mingling together and learning from each other too. It was a really interesting experience. And your mission is to share ideas and best educational practices with experts from other countries, and to inspire each other, but also for the last years, you have been a pedagogical expert in the team developing a digital lesson planning tool. It's called Lesson App. And that's a very interesting tool. We'll talk about it as well, because it can really serve every educator in the world, no matter where they are, pretty much. And you also are one of the editors and authors of the book Finnish Education in Practice, What, Why, and How, and it was published in 2021, so not long ago. And welcome so much to our symposium, Johanna.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Wonderful. I would like to talk a little bit about the Finnish educational phenomenon, because right before this talk, we have a wonderful guest, Taylor, who is involved in the area of therapy animals, not only therapy dogs, really. And we were talking about how if you are not well, you're not going to be able to learn.
Exactly.
And that is something that stands out for me in terms of the Finnish education. And if you could tell us, and I know we're going to show some slides, and I'm going to move the slides to the stage, a little bit about this phenomenon. And I'm going to advance the slides right now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for the incredible introduction.
Of course.
You're correct. The theme I'm going to talk about is how to combine stress-free learning with strong outcomes and how Finland has done that. So I think that's the question what many people ask when they come to Finland. They talk about the paradox of Finnish education. So Finland is known for very good or excellent learning results in international learning comparisons. And at the same time, people are aware that we have rather unique stress-free approach to education, and which is focusing on students' well-being. And how is it possible to combine these two? And I think you actually said it in the introduction. So it's very hard to learn if you're not feeling well. So for us, the rationale behind this combination is to have both. So we are actually quite obsessed with both learning and well-being, and I'm going to talk about that. So when I was invited, thank you for that, to this symposium, I started thinking, okay, Finnish education innovation. what could that be? and then I came up with three ideas. Science-based development. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Also, this focus on well-being and life skills. And then the last, teachers as experts. And I'm going to explain how all these are linked to the theme of learning outcomes and well-being.
Amazing. I love the word obsession too.
Yeah. Well, Finns are not known to be very passionate, but I think in this sense we are actually. So yeah, I think that's something that really drives our way to approach education. And if I could give you a couple of examples about the science-based development, because I often say that Finns are true believers in science. So we follow scientific research closely, not only the research done in Finland, but also in other countries globally. And whenever we see something related to learning or teaching, and we find it interesting, like scientific results, we start thinking, how could we apply that in our education system? And here are a couple of examples that what we are doing. For example, if we look at scientific research, there's very little evidence that loads of homework would improve learning. Loads of homework won't improve well-being for sure, but we do give our students homework. I know there's a legend that Finland doesn't give homework to its students. That's not true. We do. But the homework we give is relatively light compared to most of the countries. And it means we think that it's important to focus on quality over quantity and make sure that the students are not overwhelmed, but the homework is actually promoting learning. That's why there are no loads of homework here. Another thing is this general stress-free approach. Because we know that stress is hindering learning. Whenever we are stressed, we cannot learn. So every way we can avoid stress is very important if we want to reach the best learning results. And part of that is our approach to assessment. So there is less testing in general in Finland. Don't get me wrong, we have assessment, but the tests we have here are made by the teachers themselves. We don't have national high-stakes standardized tests. In our entire comprehensive education, during the 9 years, there are no national high-stake tests. To avoid stress, and because we don't think they actually promote learning. So instead of testing, we are focusing on teaching and learning. Another thing, this I am passionate about, are the recesses. I'm sure that there are breaks and recesses in other countries as well, but Finland has frequent, regular recesses multiple times every day. So the basic rule is that after 45 minutes lesson, there should be 15 minutes recess. Or if there's a double lesson, then the recess can be half an hour. And that time, students, it's time for the students themselves. It's not instructed anyway. They go out, they are with their friends, they play, they have fun. The idea is to get fresh air and then get the extra energy you might be having out of your system during the break and enjoy yourself. And once the recess is over, your well-being is certainly increased, but you can also focus on learning much better. And when students come back from recesses, they really can concentrate on teaching and learning again. Another example, this is also based on scientific research. Using nature as a learning environment is very common here in Finland. And we know by research that nature has a calming effect on children, especially with those who might have some concentration issues or learning difficulties. Being in a nature, learning things there, actually helps them a lot. So we know they benefit from being there, but so do all students. So this is an example of practices that increase both learning and well-being at the same time. Yeah, I've already mentioned this, that well-being is in the core, but so are what we call life skills. So in general, we are talking about how we are teaching our children for life. Are they learning for life? Not for tests, because we don't have those national tests. And not only that, we are also focusing on life skills. What are the skills that our children will need later in their lives? And that's why in our curriculum, there are a lot of what we call practical and artistic subjects. So people assume that we are concentrating on academics only, but that's not true. We actually dedicate 1/3 of the curriculum to these artistic and practical subjects to teach our children life skills. I will give you very practical examples here. In this picture, this young man is learning textile work. It's part of a school subject called crafts, and all students study that. On top of that, they study also metal work, which is part of crafts or handicrafts as well, woodwork, and electronics. Everybody also studies home economics. And home economics means learning how to cook, how to clean up your house, how to take care of your laundry. And home economics is actually the most popular school subject in Finland. And I think it's mostly because you cook a meal, then you get to eat it afterwards. But what is interesting in these practical subjects, of course, you can understand that students are happy to be doing things themselves and doing hands-on activities. So it certainly affects their well-being. But interesting thing is that during these lessons, students actually apply the things they have learned in more academic subjects. Let's take, for example, this home economics. If you're cooking, it needs a lot of measuring. Cooking in itself is a chemistry in action. So you are applying knowledge that you have received during math lessons or chemistry lessons, and you are applying that knowledge and putting it into practice. That helps you to really understand, to really comprehend also the academic content better. Then the last point, teachers as experts. I would love to call this a Finnish innovation, but I'm sure, well, teachers are experts no matter where they are, but are they regarded as experts? So in Finland, teachers are highly educated. They are all required to have master's degree. They are also highly respected. So in Finland, it's very difficult to become a teacher. It's a very wanted profession. And because we know that they are highly educated, we think that they are truly the experts in their work. That's why we trust them. So this is very characteristic for Finnish education, trusting the teachers and giving them high autonomy in their work to decide what they want to do and how. So I love showing this particular picture, because here we have a typical Finnish classroom teacher who has taken her class into the forest, to nature once again, to learn certain things. And since we think that she's the expert, she knows what's best for her students right now, we trust her and we give her high autonomy. That means that she doesn't have to ask for permission from anyone to go to the forest with her students, to learn certain things. We think that experts know what they are doing, and our whole education system is based on that idea. So even in the top authorities of education in Finland, they are all teachers by background. So in our education system, teachers are the ones, or people who have been teachers, who design the curriculum, who actually design the study or learning material, things like these. And politicians have very little to say because we leave education to experts. And I think, once again, if we go back to learning outcomes and well-being, this combines them both. When teachers are allowed to use their expertise, the learning outcomes naturally become better. And then when they are trusted and shown respect, their teachers' well-being is increased. And when we have teachers who are experiencing well-being, we have more well-being among students as well. We have teachers who are actually enjoying their work because they can conduct it in the way they know it's best for their students. And that increases the general well-being in the classroom and learning outcomes once again. So this is how we tie all these things together.
This is amazing, Johanna. And
Yeah.
yes, let's move a little bit to Lesson App to make sure that our audience can see this wonderful app. If you could tell us what its function is and how it can benefit teachers and students, it would be absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. We've learned so much. I'm so grateful that my students from my courses also joined. So one of my students actually just commented that she understands this because she attended school in Sweden. I didn't know about that. So it's really, really cool. So thank you so much for sharing, Kate and Camilla. And yeah, let's listen a little bit about Lesson App.
Yeah, well, thank you for your kind words. We since we have been training teachers from all over the world, we realized that, of course, Finland is the odd one here. Our education system is strange in a way. Many other education systems are based on different approach. But what we realized was that we could still help teachers around the world by giving them a tool to make it easy to implement these pedagogical ideas based on scientific research, that no matter the education system, that could still help their students to learn better. And also, we are teachers ourselves. So we wanted to help our fellow teachers in other countries to reduce their workload and make it easier to apply these ideas into practice. So Lesson App is a digital lesson planning tool for teachers. And the idea is that Lesson App helps teachers to plan more versatile lessons that are still high quality. I would love to show the entire app, but we don't have time for that, so I will only highlight a couple of things. First of all, Lesson App includes a pedagogically wise model to plan lessons. Once again, it's based on scientific research. It's those proven factors that help people learn better. It has more than 150 different student-centered participatory teaching methods that are proven to work and that are used not only in Finland, but in many countries around the world. All those methods are described in detail so the teachers can easily adapt them and start using them. The idea is that when we improve student engagement, it promotes better learning. And when we have more versatile and more inspiring lessons, it increases the school motivation and makes the lessons more effective. So that's the idea behind it. And we also wanted to promote teacher collaboration. And there are many ways you can learn from the best practices of other teachers around the world through Lesson App. and also to possibility to collaborate with the teachers within your own school. But those are just a couple of things Lesson App includes. If somebody got interested, we have a browser version of Lesson App, but also a mobile version for Android phones and iOS. You can download that from Google Play or App Store. And well, my team wanted to give the offer for everybody. If somebody's interested, with $30 per year, you can have Lesson App Premium for 1 year. But if you're interested, ask for a code. You can send us email. The address is there. Okay, that was a little bit of an advertisement, but the idea is that we need the teachers are the core of quality education. Whatever we do, we need to empower them. That's how we feel. That's all I wanted to share today. But if we have time for a question, I'm happy to answer.
There was not maybe as much. Maybe we don't have as much time for the questions. We had more comments, but if anybody has questions, please feel free to just post a question in the chat. And before I ask Johanna where exactly we can follow you, if somebody would like to reach out, ask the question, I just want to thank you for this incredible presentation. And our next speaker, Amy, she her dissertation was on teacher agency, and she's doing something incredible in high school in Albany. So this is all like a circle, like it's all connected. So just so important to understand teachers are expert and they have agency and they should have agency. And this was just a wonderful presentation. Where can our audience follow you to get in touch if they have any questions after this, to find out more about Lesson App and your initiatives?
Well, I think maybe the easiest is to connect through LinkedIn. I'm there. You can easily find me with my name. You can also send an email to the Lesson App address I just showed, and it's also here in the last slide. So we are very happy to collaborate and connect with educators all over the world. So we would be privileged to get those messages if possible.
That's exactly, because what you're doing, it is truly uniting teachers, and the app has some incredible resources that help in just learning about the Finnish philosophy and education. And then it goes further than that, because it's all then about collaborating and learning from each other to take it further and spread these ideas as much as possible. And we want to help you with that. That's why we're doing this as well. And I would like to thank you so much, Johanna, for this incredible presentation and conversation. And I'll see you soon. Anyway, I can actually, Johanna will be joining me soon for a podcast recording. So we will learn some more about Finnish education. Why not? I should be mentioning this right now.
Yes, well, I'm so honored to participate in that too, and this being truly a pleasure for me. So thank you for having me here.
I appreciate it as well. Thank you so much. And I'll see everybody, our audience, hopefully in the next session with Amy, because we will learn a little bit more about what can happen when teachers feel that they have some agency. That's so important to realize. Thank you so much, everybody. See you in the next session. Thank you so much, Johanna. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.